It's the Open Bedroom Door Show.
I'm Angela Skurtu, and I open bedroom doors. Welcome to the Open Bedroom Doors Show. Real talk for real relationships. I'm your host, Angela Skurtu, your friendly neighborhood sex therapist and licensed marriage therapist. And yes, talking about sex is literally my job. I started this show because, let's be real, most of us didn't get sex education. We're out here fumbling through love, intimacy, and awkward bedroom moments with zero guidance and a lot of shame. Time to fix that. Here's what you can expect every episode. Sex positions. We start off hot by judging something wild, weird, or just plain wrong in the media or culture. You'll laugh, you'll cringe, you might even learn something. Next, we move to guest interviews. I chat with fascinating folks, sexperts, storytellers, and everyday humans with juicy stories and powerful insights. And then, of course, we have to have a happy ending. Yep, we finish strong. I answer real questions from real people about sex, relationships, and all the stuff you're too afraid to ask your therapist or anyone else for that matter. But I'm here, so ask away. If you're ready to laugh, learn, and finally talk about the stuff no one ever taught us, hit play. Let's open that bedroom door, shall we? Hello everyone. Today we're gonna talk about a vulva massage. What? A vulva massage? So welcome to Sex Positions. This is the Open Bedroom Door Show, and on this segment, what I like to do is judge things as a sex therapist that are happening in media and society that are related to sex. And I'm your resident sex therapist. Hey! Yes, you heard me correct. I'm here to massage this vulva. This is actually a vulva puppet. You can check it out at vulvapuppet.com to get one of your own because they're pretty cool. So this video is actually talking about a lot of different things. As a vulva owner myself, for me to enjoy being touched here, I have to be in a good mindset to be even able to enjoy intimacy associated with my vulva. And one thing that guys are making a mistake with at times is they go straight for this too quickly for even me, right? Like, I just have one husband, by the way. I'm saying, for every guy, I've got like 50 guys touching my vulva. No, that is not correct. I have one man, my husband, but I'm saying in general, I think men sometimes are going too quick to the vulva and not making it a whole body experience. But also, I think for women, it's more than that, right? So I'm going to prop myself here because there's also comfy ways to enjoy a vulva massage, right? Like if you have some pillows to prop you up and feel a little good. Here's great positioning for a vulva massage in my bed. But so even to be welcome to receive this kind of touch, you have to be in a mindset of it's okay to be touched. That's a beautiful place in my body, or neutral. So I'm going to talk a lot about neutrality because I have noticed that if I try to get you thinking positive, like, no, this is a good part of your body, it's so fun, it's so good for you, then if in your mind you're like, oh, it's disgusting, it smells, why does he even want to be down there? Then you're just going to have a fight with me. Like, okay, Angela, she doesn't know what she's talking about. So even if you can get to neutral language and a neutral treatment of your vulva, which would just sound like, okay, what's it feel like? Staying curious. All right, it's a vulva. He says he wants to touch it. Cool. That's a little more neutral. And it at least is giving you both an opportunity to explore, but for you personally receiving this vulva massage, it keeps you out of your head and in your sensational body. That's actually the biggest thing that's getting in the way for women. It's not technique. It's not even his enthusiasm, because trust me, they're always enthusiastic to be there. It's your own relationship with your body that gets you out of sex. And that's the problem for most women, is that we're so up here, like, am I fat? Am I ugly? Even here, like, I'm in this outfit and every now and then I'm like, oh, is my belly showing up in the right way on camera? Which maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I have to do it anyways, right? But those are the things that even me talking to you on camera, I'm overthinking as a woman. And these are the things that as women are getting in the way of our sex life, right? So like if he's here and you're like, does my belly look fat? One, it's not sexy for you to feel that way about yourself. And two, it's taking you out of the experience. So if you can if nothing else, you can learn to stay neutral with yourself, just really super neutral. Be kind, very neutral, slow yourself down, and just be like, okay, what's this sensationally feel like? So when your partner is touching you this way or that way, just start turning your attention towards what it feels like when he touches you. What sensations am I noticing? Am I noticing a soft pressure or a firmer pressure? What's that like? Do I like a little more or less of it? Do I even know if I like it? Do I need to wait and see? Like, these are the things that I have to think about as a woman in a sexual act. Like, sometimes it doesn't feel good just yet, but it's getting there, or it could get there if I just kind of sit with it. And what I'm really teaching you is mindfulness, being present in your body and your skin as you are being touched, so you're capable of eventually enjoying the experience, because it's not always right away. And then once you are getting more comfortable and cozy in your body and you're just warming to the experience, then it can feel better. But again, don't start with the vulva. Like, start with other parts of the body and then move to the vulva. But even when you're with those other parts, please work on staying curious, neutral, and open-minded, because that's what will get you more close to your pleasure than all of that overthinking and judgment you're doing to yourself. If you want a bed, guess what? We are filming our sex positions here at Mattress Dogs. This is a mattress furniture store, and I am thankful for Mattress Dogs for letting me do my sex positions event in bed. Use promo code SEXYTIME and you can get your next bed here tax-free. We're always looking for sponsors. So if you would like to become a sponsor for the show or for the sex position segment, please go to openbedroomdoors.com and check out our sponsorship page. And we will, if you become one of our sponsors, we'll even let you pick the position. Want to spice up your sex life? Then be sure to pick up a copy of my new book, From No to Yes Sex. Tired of routine sex? Feeling more like roommates than lovers? This book is your invitation to transform your love life one thought at a time. Don't wait, order now. Welcome to the Open Bedroom Doors Show. I am your host, Angela Skurtu, and with me I have David Lay. David Lay, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Clinical psychologist, sex therapist, author of some books, and general troublemaker. So one of the questions that I explore is, what are the things that draw a certain person or a certain couple towards one flavor of non-monogamy versus another flavor? Because I actually have a talk I give called 31 Flavors of Non-Monogamy, where I talk about, the differences between swinging and hot wifing and cuckolding and don't ask, don't tell, and, the 100-mile rule, and the same room swingers versus the different room swingers, and soft swapping. And there's all of these different flavors. And
Yeah.
what are the things that draw somebody towards one flavor or another? And what I consistently find is that it comes out of a couple of things. One, it comes out of some personality characteristics. So, sexual sensation seeking and sociosexuality. Sociosexuality is the tendency to be able to separate or not separate sex from love. And so, people that, some people, can have casual sex. Some people can really only envision sex with somebody that they're in love and in a relationship with. That is a reflection of sociosexuality.
Okay.
Swingers tend to be very casual about sex, but very committed to a certain relationship style. So, sexual sensation seeking is sexual adrenaline junkie kind of behavior. But then, for instance, most swingers grew up religious but are not currently religious. In contrast, polyamorous folk tend to be more spiritual than swingers are. So you can see where those spiritual values might draw them towards relationships that involve love and intimacy and connection and sex with multiple people, because more spiritual people are going to be a little turned off by the idea of casual sex with somebody they have no relationship with. Those are the things that when I work with couples, and I work with a lot of people around these issues that are exploring, look, we want to open up our relationship. I start asking them things to help me and them understand what kind of non-monogamous relationship is going to fit. So one of the things I ask him is, I ask the guy often, do you like talking about relationships and feelings? And the guy's like, yeah, no. Okay. Well, then being polyamorous is gonna be tough for you because these people talk about that stuff.
There's a lot of feelings involved. I would say the feelings are even more important sometimes than the sex in the
Yes.
polyamorous world. Not always, but most of the time.
Do you enjoy relationship drama or do you find it exhausting?
hmm Do you
Because
like leaning in and really hearing your
yes.
partners, plural?
Or are you more attracted to the idea of adventurous sex and then going home, safe with your partner? Because
No
the
strings attached,
no
right?
strings attached, right? Are you worried about catching feelings? In the swingers community,
hmm
they oftentimes will have lines where, the rule is you can only have sex with somebody else 3 or 4 times because more
hmm
than that, you might, quote, "catch feelings."
Well, and there are even unique ones like no kissing because they
That's
want to
right,
try
that's
to
right.
prevent, not on all of them. So I want to make sure everybody listening, these are some people, not all people. And even in these swinger and polyamorous lifestyles, because I work with all the people, like we're both sex therapists. It's our job to work with all the people across all the spectrums. But the point is that even in these communities, there's still a lot of variation. I'm noticing like there's swingers who kind of start one way, but then they evolve over time,
Mhm,
and then
mhm,
there's people who start thinking they're going to be polyamorous and they evolve over time. And
mhm.
so, even when you have those conversations with your partner, if this is something you want to do, you'll find that you change the more you learn about yourself and
Yes,
each other.
and that is one of the things that, because I wrote Insatiable Wives in 2009, and since then, I've seen this incredible evolution, and what historically, this is not entirely the case now, but mostly the idea of cuckolding or hot wifing is introduced by the husband to the wife, and
hmm
oftentimes the wife is, resistant because she thinks, that, that would be being a slut, and she was taught not to be a slut,
mm
and the husband is like, "No, no, no, I'm really turned on by the idea of you being a slut. Is there a way we can do this?" But what's fascinating is that as the wives embrace this, it frees them from a lot of the socially imposed rules around their female sexuality and their own ownership of their sexuality. And what I see is couples that start with cuckolding,
hmm
and then the wife is like, well, actually, I've always been into the idea of being dominated by a man. And so now they go find male partners that will dominate them instead of the wife dominating her cuckold husband.
mm
And I've seen couples where the wife is like, yeah, this was fun, but I really want an emotional relationship. I really
Yeah.
want, more poly. And so they evolve towards poly in their relationship strategy. And maybe that still works for the husband who's into cuckolding, or maybe it doesn't. But that what you just described, Angela, the etiology, to use that big fancy word,
Ooh.
the life course of these patterns is fascinating, and it is playing out in front of us right now. Um,
hmm
as we're seeing what kind of sexual lifestyles, relationship dynamics people will embrace as they learn more about themselves and what turns them on and what they enjoy, compared to what society told them was
hmm
right.
Well, something that comes up too, David, is that you don't know what you don't know, right? So like people hear about it in porn, people hear about it around the bend. Maybe they saw the the Jimmy Fowler, or what is that who it was?
Jerry Falwell,
Jerry
yeah.
Fowler. Yeah, okay. So they see the Jerry Fowler documentary, they're like, maybe this is something I want to do, right? So there's your idea or fantasy of something, and then there's real life. And that's how the evolution occurs, right? Is that when couples do this well. So first I want to give some statistics. The first year of opening up a relationship is the make or break year.
Right.
And couples who grow in emotional intelligence get better at their communication. Like it basically is an amplifier. So like it amplifies, like I see it as like it shines a spotlight on every issue that you potentially have not addressed in your relationship. The couples who take this as a growing year to figure out each other and learn how to communicate better are the ones who then like continue on it basically because they've grown and then they continue to evolve. But it is a make it or break it year. So there's other couples who, when it shines a light, it becomes what I call exit non-monogamy. And basically, it does start the end of their relationships. And so I do want to put that out there. If you're interested in doing this, there is a risk that you will break up simply because it amplifies those problems that you're not talking about well. But the interesting thing is after that year, it's the same rates. It's
That's right.
50-50. Like 50-50, you have the same rate of divorce as a typical couple. And so once people get through that, then that's when I think the real evolution occurs
Mhm.
and it can occur across their lives. But like, it doesn't mean like, I do want people hearing to know that exit non-monogamy doesn't necessarily lead to divorce in all cases. It depends on your ability to grow together.
Yeah, and when folks enter non-monogamy, I often see them with a lot of highly specific rules. You mentioned like not kissing, or
I know they're so like,
all of
ugh.
these things. I call these anxiety management strategies,
They are.
because what those rules are saying is the idea of you kissing this partner, or me seeing you passionately kissing this other partner, brings up a lot of negative feelings for me that I'm struggling to manage. And
Hmm.
so rather than me having to manage those feelings, I need you to just avoid that situation so I don't have to deal with this.
Hmm.
And that is a perfectly reasonable thing to bring up. And now let's talk about it, because I believe that you as a person are resilient enough to manage that if we can now help you and your partner figure out a way to acknowledge and own those feelings, and
Hmm.
also not make your partner responsible for your feelings.
Absolutely. And you can do it. I also see them as a form of exposure therapy. So when you get couples doing it in this slow way, so maybe they do a lot of that anxiety management in the beginning just to get used to these experiences. What
Yes,
can actually happen is each time they get exposed to the new stimulus, they're learning, okay, I can do this. They're learning
I
essentially
can
to
do.
trust
Yeah, I can
themselves.
deal
I
with
can do
this.
this. I'm okay. And like some couples who've done, like I've talked with a lot of couples in the lifestyle community too. Many of them will have talked about it for years before they even open up. Like talked about it, fantasized it. That's all exposure therapy, right? Like you're just managing and thinking about. So then by the time they do it the first time, it is intense. It's a big sensation in the body. But then they're learning already, like, I've thought a lot about this. I knew that I would have some feelings, but I'm okay. Like I figured out how to do this. And I think the couples who have those conversations do way better and in managing than the couples who just like dive right into the
That's
deep
right.
end of the
Dive into the
pool.
deep end. I
Like,
was
let's
just
just
going
do
to
it,
say,
see what happens.
I was just going to say, Angela, let me test you. What is the number one way to do this wrong? And you said it. Dive into the deep end with no preparation. And then people drown and
They do.
relationships explode ugly,
Yeah.
ugly, ugly. And whereas wading in, trying, exploring
Yeah.
this with
Get in the shower and
fantasy.
dip your toe in the
Yes, yeah.
pool.
One of the things that I love, this sounds like a plug and it kind of is, but
Okay.
the audio book for Insatiable Wives was read by a friend of mine named Rose Caraway, and she reads audio erotica. She has a lovely podcast called Kiss Me Quick, where she reads online erotica, and she's got this amazing voice. And she read the audio book of Insatiable Wives, which is now super popular. And one of the things that I love is couples will send me pictures of the dashboard of their car with them listening to Insatiable Wives as the husband and wife go on a road trip together. And they
Mm.
use that as a way to open this conversation, to talk about, well, what did you think about what David and Rose just talked about? What did you think about if that happened? What feelings come up for you? And it is a way to have these conversations and to explore that exposure therapy safely. as opposed to one couple that this is going to freak you out, and I'm sorry, but one
Okay.
couple that I saw in Texas where the husband and wife picked up a young guy at a bar. They went home. The husband sat in the cuck chair next to the bed and watched the young man have sex with the wife. Finished happily for everybody, I guess. The wife got up, went to the bathroom. The husband reached behind him in the chair, pulled out a handgun, and shot the young man in the back.
Oh,
Swear,
wow.
swear to God. And, and I encountered this young man as he was in physical therapy, recovering from spinal injury of that injury. Clearly, this couple had not done the adequate work to do this in a healthy way. And I'm sad for that young man who had no idea, right?
Yeah.
The pool of angst that he was stepping into.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's so sad. And on that note, how do they find you, David? Is that a good
So
segue or
That,
what?
that that's right. Yeah. DavidLayPhD.com is my website. I'm on Twitter and Insta at DavidLayPhD, or Dr. David Lay. Find it either way. One thing to note: it is Ley as opposed to Lay. I know that a sex doctor named Lay is just kind of made to happen. Right, is my only choice, but I'm making the best of it.
All right, David, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks, Angela.
Ooh, sexy bear. You ever wanted to have sex with a bearskin rug? Oh wait, not with one. On one. You're not supposed to do it with it.
Don't do it with the bear. Don't do it with
Don't
the
do
bear.
that. But if you want to see sexy bearskin runs and spice up your sex life, ooh, you should join us.
February 14th.
Yes, at Adventure Unknown for dinner with a sex therapist. That's too spicy. Well, guys, on the Open Bedroom Doors show, we often have content that's a little too spicy for your typical social media platforms. So for those of you who are like, I love everything Angela Skurtu and I want to know all the spicy details, we actually have a space where we put the uncut shows, and it is at patreon.com/openbedroomdoors. So you can subscribe to that channel and get all the behind the scenes, all that spicy stuff that I wasn't able to put in the show. That's too spicy. So I hope you can join me at patreon.com/openbedroomdoors. Keep in mind, that is how you support me. So it is a subscription channel where you have to pay to subscribe, but you are becoming a supporter of me and putting out this awesome content as a result. So please join me for those spicy, spicy things. I'm Angela Skurtu, and on every show, I answer one of your sex questions. Joining me as always are my BDSM bears, Barry Bonds and Consent Cub. If you would like to have your questions answered on the show, please submit a question in the comments below, or you can submit a contact form at my website, openbedroomdoors.com. Can couples really overcome infidelity and have a healthy sex life again? Yeah, actually, that's my job. That's my job all day, every day. So I am a sex therapist and a marriage therapist. And I would say 50% of my client population is people getting over infidelity. And crazy thing. So here's how you get good sex after an infidelity. What I have to help my couples do is stop any lying at all and just get really honest. And that means both ways. When I get couples being raw, honest, and real with each other about the things they've wanted all along, and I'm not even just talking about sex, things they've wanted, personally, I want us to travel, or I wish we had a hobby, or I wish our whole lives weren't all about the kids and work. I need more out of life. And if I can get both of you being honest, raw, and real, the natural outcome is you start having amazing, mind-blowing sex. Because that's one of the things that leads people to infidelity, is instead of talking to each other about these things you've wanted all along, you hold them in, you judge yourself, and you say, my partner wouldn't be open to this, I shouldn't share this, maybe it's just me. And you do this all in your head, and then eventually that becomes the justification for cheating, which, don't cheat, but all of you do. So, not all of you, but quite a few of you have. I'm a very busy therapist. So the way that people heal is by being raw, open, and honest with each other. And what's crazy is that's how you fall in love again. When you start like meeting each other with reality and like honest, non-judgmental conversations, it makes you fall in love again. And what I'm seeing is couples after infidelity having crazy good sex, but only if they lay it all out on the table and start being themselves again. Well, that's a wrap on this episode of the Open Bedroom Doors Show. Real talk for real relationships. If you laughed, learned, or blushed a little, you're welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend who needs a little more real talk in their life. Got a burning question about sex, love, or relationships? Check out openbedroomdoors.com and submit a contact form. Your question might just be featured in a future Happy Endings segment. Until next time, keep it honest, keep it sexy, and most of all, keep those bedroom doors open. Good night and have a sexy tomorrow.